Hey everybody, it's me, BDSW people. That could sound kind of weird and kinky. Maybe like perverted, like you, well, forget what I said. Anyway, nice to be with you. Oh, I'm in the sun. Ooh, sun feels good. I'm at the castle. I'm at Castle Borgoni. See the castle? There it is, baby. There it is. It's friggin' awesome. Hopefully you have watched the first Zoom by now. If you, hopefully you watched it many times. There's so much energy in that thing. Like you can keep watching it and letting it melt and melt and melt your world. However, when you do, if you are brave enough to do that, if you truly are willing to be that different and that weird, part of what's going to happen is your awareness is going to increase like a motherfucker. You got to expand like a motherfucker, and then you won't know what the fuck to do, and then you really will be different, and then you won't know what to do because I know what you wanted. You wanted the different that feels good, didn't you? Huh? Oh, sorry, the program should have come with a warning. Consciousness is not comfortable, pretty much ever. Anyway, oh, and if you can hear the bell behind me, that's the clock tower. See the clock tower? And the clock tower has been going, you see right now it's 10:50. It's been clanging ever since 10:30. I don't know if today's like, there it goes, see? I don't know if it's just so excited that we're here, if it's gonna go on all day, I have no idea. So you wanna realize first, you wanna ask everything that doesn't, if you've been doing sort of weird, cranky nonsense like I have, and a lot of people around me have, which is really funny because we did this be different, stay weird thing, right? And a lot of them are on it, in fact, all of them, and all the people around me. And so it's kind of this really interesting thing where everybody's worlds are expanding, but they're getting so much more awareness. So a couple of things for you. One is you want to POC and POD everything that doesn't allow your allowance to exceed your awareness. What do I mean? Well, what happens is when your awareness expands dynamically, now, whereas, somebody's sadness or their trauma and drama would have been at a 1, now it's at about a 50 because your awareness is increased because the walls are melting between you and the energetic world around you. Now, this is fucking awesome. This is great. This is exactly what you're asking for. It's part of the reason you're doing this program. It just feels weird sometimes. So if you've been feeling weird, you are in the right place, baby. Me too. Ah! In fact, I was going to make a video almost a week ago now. And my friend Gary, his body was hurting, had some stuff going on with his body. And so I chose to do that instead. And I was like, oh man, I should have made the video and then gone and helped his body. But, hindsight is 20/20, they say. But it was going to be about some of this stuff, help you through it. Let me give you a process that may help dynamically. So what intensity of receiving and awareness am I avoiding with the pain, suffering, body death, tiredness, and trauma and drama I am choosing? Ha! You're welcome. Everything that is times a godzillion way destroyed and created, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Oh, by the way, if you got the first processing loop, you're going to be getting another processing loop soon. I just haven't made it yet. Been a little busy, facilitating facilitators around the world and all that sort of thing. That whole consciousness facilitation thing that I'm so interested in. Yeah, been doing that. So, one more time. What intensity of receiving and awareness are you avoiding with the pain, suffering, body death, tiredness, and trauma and drama you are choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion way destroyed and created, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. One more time. So, what intensity of awareness and receiving are you avoiding with the pain, suffering, body death, tiredness, and trauma and drama, and lack of allowance you are choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion way destroyed and created, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay, so this is a perfect opportunity to bring up another subject, which is how do you respond? One of the, sorry, I should explain that further. I will in just a moment. But you want to look at how do you respond when you have an intense level of awareness or when you're really aware of something that somebody has going on. I'm getting out of the sun. Sun is great, but when you're in a big old jacket like this, oh my goodness. Here, let me show you around. There's Susanna. She's part of the program. Hi. And she does pragmatic psychology. She's friggin' awesome. She's just amazing. And there's the clock tower, as previously stated. And the dependents quarters. Look at those big friggin' urns. I mean, they're so big. And the Castello. Hey. Hello, Castello. Hello, Casa Borgone Castello. Hello. Okay, so one of the things I found a long time ago, Gary and I were talking about something, and we found one of the things people will do, trying to get out of the sun. Okay, good. One of the things people will do is they will have an awareness of something, and they'll consider it painful, so they create another pain to avoid the pain of the awareness they're having. It's kind of similar to the process I just gave you. But what you'll do is and one of the things that can help is, what pain am I using to avoid the pain of awareness I could be choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion. We destroy and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, mountains. You know, in psychology, I think it's highly appropriate. Susanna's over there. Because in psychology, they talk about somaticizing, where you take an emotional pain and you make it physical. Well, I've seen that it goes both ways. Like, what you'll do is you'll buy that you're the one in pain, so you don't have to see what pain other people are in. Or you'll do something to actually make your body hurt, or be depressed, or feel like, a bad person or whatever, like you're bad and you're wrong, so you don't have to be aware of what's really going on for other people around you, which is kind of an interesting thing, which also indicates we got a fuck of a lot of power. So my question to you is, what is that sort of fallback thing that you go to? What is that thing where, you know how when things are changing massively, a lot of people, what they do is they go into sadness and they stop creating. Why? Because what's happening is there's so much change going on that they can't control it, and they're not willing to continuously leap off the cliff because it feels so uncomfortable. Something must be wrong. So if you're actually going to be as different as you can be, and as weird as we know you are, then one of the things that's going to have to change is you're going to have to be willing to go through the discomfort, but you need to not stop. Okay, you need to not stop to try to figure things out to try to make them more comfortable. Instead, you want to keep going, and run that process about the receiving and the awareness, and run the process about everything that doesn't allow your allowance to exceed your awareness. Oh, maybe I didn't give that to you, but run that process, everything that doesn't allow my allowance to exceed my awareness. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and mountains. In fact, you may need to run it a few times. In fact, I've been running it nonstop like crazy. I've been running both of those. But then the other thing is, look at the pain that you create, or the suffering, or the way that you handle massive change or massive awareness. And because we all have our own way, like some people check out, like some people check out and they're like, go do drugs or something. I don't know, whatever. Probably most of you, that's probably not your choice. Some people check out by eating a lot. Some people try to check out by, like, they'll go have sex with somebody and then they feel like, they've gotten their reality back, but they feel kind of messed up from it. Some people will, try to get themselves into financial stress, whatever it is. For me, I notice there's an energy where I go to less than, where I sort of feel kind of sad, like not creative, not that happy. I'm not too happy. And I feel sort of less than. And it's been my traditional way of like figuring shit out. Okay, so what way is it you have of figuring shit out that you can now change? Everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion. We destroy and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and mountains. So what is that way of figuring shit out that you have that's also a way of trying to get your ducks in a row and also trying to control? And the only way we can control, see, what I'm inviting you to is to truly be out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, out of form, structure, significance, out of linearities, and out of concentricities, which is exactly what this whole program is about on one level, and so many other things on many other levels, but a similar level. But really, for us to stop us, see, for us to get to that place and we go, oh, I'm going to slow things down. I'm getting really uncomfortable. Something must be wrong. So I'm going to slow things down. The way you slow things down, see, if the universe is in constant motion and constant movement, which it actually is, the way you slow things down is by like contracting them into this slowness, into this smallness, into this sort of yuckiness. And I don't know about you, but that's the energy I grew up with. I mean, everybody around me had that shit, okay? So it was kind of like my way of never being too much, never being too happy, never going beyond them. So everything that is times a godzillion, and everything you bought that's actually you, we destroy it and create it, please, and return it to sender with consciousness attached. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So if you'll recognize this, and I think a lot of us can recognize it, and probably also recognize that it's really not us. It's not our way of handling the world. Now, I'm going to send you the link for the Tour of Consciousness that I just did also for World Happiness Day, which I think will contribute to all of you also. But if you recognize that, hi, Francesca.
Hello.
Ciao, amore.
Hi.
Ciao. Hi, Mark.
Ciao.
Hi. we're just going to follow them because they want to get out of camera. This is part of being weird. You know, staying weird is like stalking your friends while you're making videos for the world. Yeah, don't let them have any privacy. Just like follow them. I'm just gonna follow them. Maybe for the rest of the day. I don't know. Okay, I'm bored. All right. So anyway, back to me out of the sun. Theoretically, there it is. Wait. Okay, I did it. Okay, very impressed. Very impressed. Very impressed. You want to, pat yourself on the front for, small successes like that, like getting out of the sun. Very proud of myself right now. Oh my God. Okay, so if you recognize that probably for a lot of those things that you've done, they weren't even your way of being. Especially if you grew up with parents who were sad or parents who were angry or parents who had a particular energy they went into all the time. As a little kid, you didn't understand it. You were here like, oh my goodness, hi, I'm on the planet, I'm ready, let's be happy and play and create and be awesome. And by the time you were with these people for like 4 years, you're like, oh, fuck it, not gonna happen. So you probably adopted a lot of their stuff. So what coping mechanisms did you buy from your parents that have nothing to do with you that you keep going back to as though they're yours? Everything that is times a gazillion. We destroy and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, choice, boys, beyonds. One more time. What coping mechanisms did you buy from your parents that have nothing to do with you that you keep going back to as though they're actually yours? Everything that is times a gazillion. We destroy and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, choice, boys, beyonds. Now, I'm hoping that your energy is shifting a bit, and I'm hoping that you will notice it, that your energy is shifting a bit while you watch this video. I know mine is, and I'm also perceiving all of you guys out there in the world, so I'm hoping yours is too. And if you'll notice that, you're like, oh, wow. Because one of the other things that you do is you start looking for what's wrong. When things are weird, when things feel uncomfortable, you start looking for what's wrong. I know I have, and I know this shit, okay? But there's been so much stuff going on around me, so much trauma and drama, and my best friend's body is hurting. And if you've never had, shingles, oh my God, I feel so bad for him. And I've been working, do what I can to change it. Finally, ESB has been changing it. And some work from my friend Andrew Gardella has been amazing in changing it, and access body processes. This stuff has been really friggin' helpful. And it's interesting because Gary's 77, 70, something like that, in those 70s, right? And the healing that he's done in the, 10 days that he's had this, it's like he's weeks ahead of what normal people do. Okay, with the healing process. I mean, this shit works. Anyway, but it's been really friggin' intense. So I kept looking for what was wrong. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Asking what's wrong is never a good question. Can I just say that? Ever. And that's a meme. There you go. Asking what's wrong is never a good question to ask. Ever. It never gets you anywhere except into more wrongness. So I started going, what's right about this I'm not getting? And then I asked, remember one of the things we talked about on the Zoom, what beyond this reality possibilities are available that I haven't acknowledged and yet chosen? What beyond this reality awareness do I have? What beyond this reality acknowledgement are we not giving each other? And that's the one I've been running with and about my friends. Everything that is right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, choice, boys, beyonds. And so for us, what beyond this reality acknowledgement are we not giving each other and being for each other that we now can? Everything that is times a gazillion, right? Wrong, good, bad, all nine, pod, pock, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Remember how I asked you to allow me to be present in your world? Okay, that's been occurring, but I'd like to make it not a connection where you feel like you need to, suck the life out of me, because that doesn't really work very well. Plus, it's an invalidation of you. See, what I'd like with this connection is to be present so I can perceive the things that I can contribute to you, but also be there to be like, hey, this space is available so you can choose it, because once you choose it, it's yours forever. You know that thing about you can teach a man to fish or a woman to fish? You can teach a person to fish. Okay, let's be politically correct. You can teach a person to fish. I mean, you can feed them fish. It's all about fish, all right? I mean, it's fish. It's something about fish. Like you can either smother them in fish or you can pour tuna fish on them, or I don't know, something. Oh, I remember. Okay. So you can either feed a person a fish, in which case I always have to come back to you, which is how most of this reality works, or you can teach someone to fish, which means they can feed themselves forever. That's what I'd like to do for you with this program. So anywhere you felt compelled to suck the life out of me, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. It's been fun, but I'd like to change our relationship now. Thank you very much. So everything our relationship was yesterday, can we destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay, lots of things I had to say, hoping some of this stuff helps. And if you'll get one more time, this thing that you do of this coping mechanism, which 99% of the time is going to be like your parents or like a really good friend that you have or a combination of both or somebody who was really influential in your life in an emotional way when you were growing up. This is what I'd like you to recognize and acknowledge and go, what invention am I using to create this energy I'm choosing? And then what ghillie suit of class am I using to create this energy? Or what ghillie suit of, a couple things. Okay. Here we go. I can do this. As the bell tolls, for whom does the bell toll? It tolls for me. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't know why I created a program on different and weird. I don't understand it because I'm so normal. I'm just like everybody else. Okay, I'm kidding. Anyway, back to my story. Okay, so here's the deal. A few processes. One of the things I'd like you to run is, what invention am I using to become this person, to be this person I'm choosing? Like your mom, your dad, whoever that person is that you learned that coping mechanism from. What invention am I using to be this fucker? Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and bought, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. And then what ghillie suit of class am I using to pretend to be this fucker am I choosing? Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and bought, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. And then what am I camouflaging by being this fucker? Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and bought, all nine. Sorry, I just wanted you to see the building. Okay, what am I camouflaging by being this fucker? Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and bought, all nine shorts, boys, beyonds. Okay, see how that works? Now, same three processes, but with the energy. Okay, the energy you're doing, because you'll notice who you're being a lot of times. So you want to do the same process with the energy that is coming up. And the beauty of this is you can run these ghillie suit processes and all this stuff on the energy. Oh, maybe I should go this way. Nope, that's worse. I tried. Okay, so you can run these processes on the energy, which is a wonderful thing to be able to do, because that starts to change everything. You can go, what ghillie suit of class am I using to create this energy I'm choosing? Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What am I camouflaging with this energy? And just get the sense of the energy. Run it 10 or 20 or 30 times. I mean, really look at it. If you get cranky, you get whatever, upset, messed up, whatever, like taking 10 minutes to be present with it and change it is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Okay, so you have that. And then the other thing is, okay, so we have those processes. And then one of the, what else? Another great process that I came up with for a friend last night. And you're going to insert your name here, okay? What ghillie suit of class am I using to create the delusion that I am, insert your name here, am I choosing? What ghillie suit of class, like for me, I'd go, what ghillie suit of class am I using to create the delusion that the delusion of Dane I am choosing? No, the delusion of Dane I am choosing. Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Because we delude ourselves into believing we're just this person. But you've been here for a lot longer than this. Okay, you've had billions of lifetimes over trillions of years. So the idea that you're just this one person is absolutely fucking insane. And I know when I say that, that's one of those things that's tough for people to grasp sometimes. Grasp. Okay, difficult for people to grasp sometimes. But so it's really a delusion that you're just this thing that you call you right now, whatever your friggin' name is. Okay, so run that too, because what it'll do is it'll start to expand and open up things. And then also, what energy, space, and what would happen, or what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, out of form, structure, significance, out of linearity, and out of concentricities with total ease. I'm gonna move so I don't get run over. No? Okay. I didn't get run over. Success. Hello. Successfully avoided the car crash. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. So, hope this has been helpful. And please, 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 please also run what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, out of form, structure, significance, out of linearities, and out of concentricities. Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And what would happen if we were all out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, out of form, structure, significance, out of linearities, and out of concentricities? Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. How much fun can we have? How happy can we be? And what beyond this reality happiness is true for you that isn't for anybody else? And you don't have to try to give it to them anymore. Nanny, nanny, nanny. You can be it. You just don't have to tell them about it. I adore you guys. Mwah. Right and wrong, good and bad, bought and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. See you next time. Sometime soon. I'm sure. Can't wait. Okay, this is me signing out. Okay, bye-bye. Bye. Mwah. Mwah. Let's do it again. Bye-bye.